Okay, so this is Chavah. Why are we all here? Hopefully we're all here to get information to help ourselves, pregnancy-related information, fertility-related information, birth-related. All these things bring us here together, and so in order to help you all better, I think I'm going to begin to do these little videos and to provide you with hopefully, a couple minutes. I'm really working on doing this in a shorter period of time. It's not easy because I have a lot of information to give you all, but I'm working on doing these short little videos. Okay, so please bear with me as I learn how to tell you more information in a shorter amount of time. Hopefully we'll see the video time get shorter and shorter as I get better at this. So this is just kind of a trial run. Okay, today I'd like to speak to you about pregnancy nausea, morning sickness. Okay, what are some of the main things that cause nausea in pregnancy? The number one cause is the instability of our blood sugar. The blood sugar baseline is really erratic in early pregnancy, and so it's really, really affected by how we eat and what we eat. When we don't eat, for one thing, our blood sugar goes crazy. It goes down, and then we feel really sick, and then we can't eat. And then when we do eat, we get a blood sugar spike, and then we some of us throw up. It's really a mess. Okay, so in order to help keep our blood sugar on an even baseline, we need to eat protein regularly. Protein foods include meat, fish, eggs, dairy. Those are animal proteins. Vegetable proteins include a lot of vegetables contain protein, although not a lot, and not very concentrated doses. Um, so legumes, beans, rice, whole grains combined, those are proteins. There's cheese and yogurt. Oatmeal has protein, nuts and seeds, nut butters like tahini, almond butter, some kinds of seed milks, and also regular milk in small amounts is really helpful. So lots of protein in smaller amounts combined with a complex carbohydrate, so a whole grain, fruit. Um, there are a lot of different ways to get carbohydrates, whole grain bread, vegetables are carbs. Basically, if you can combine a carbohydrate with a fruit, or not a fruit, combine a carbohydrate, which is, you can find it in fruit, combine that with protein every 1.5 to 2 hours, okay? In pregnancy, hunger feels like nausea, whereas we used to feel like, oh, I could eat something right now. I'm hungry. That sounds good. Hunger in pregnancy really feels like I'm going to be terribly ill, and we don't even really recognize it as a desire to eat because it doesn't feel like that. So we really need to get ourselves fed before we get to that point, like a baby. Like by the time a baby's crying, a baby's already too hungry. So we need to set our watches. Sometimes it takes 1.5 hours, sometimes it's 2 hours. But in the beginning of pregnancy, you really need to be concentrating on eating regularly every couple hours. If you have missed that time frame, it's gonna take you a few hours to catch up. Okay, to catch up with the cycle of eating and keeping our blood sugar stable. Okay, so that's with eating. And not everyone is able to eat all sources of protein. Some women are really adverse to animal protein, really adverse to chicken or whatever it is they're trying to eat. Um, I'm sorry to say this, but we really have to give up on the idea that you're going to enjoy it. You kind of have to see it like a medicine. Um, in my pregnancies, I knew that it was just going to be par for the course. It was just going to be an accepted thing that I did every evening, every afternoon. I just sat down and ate a small little bit of steamed chicken, bland. I didn't even expect it to taste good. I just ate it because that's what my blood sugar needed to stay in a stable situation, stable baseline. Okay, so in general, don't leave the house without food. Don't plan your day without knowing what you're going to eat. Eat when you first get up, small sips of water. Hydrate yourself throughout the day, especially if you are vomiting. You're really going to have to try to keep hydrated. Don't give up. If you ate something and you threw up, it's not necessarily a failure. Just try to continue to eat, okay? Um, there are foods that can help. I think I'd also like to talk about supplements that can help as well. First of all, I want to talk about acupuncture or Chinese medicine as a way to stabilize the balance of the body. If you can afford and if you have access to a good skilled acupuncturist, it can really help you. Okay, acupuncture can really help you. Getting out in the fresh air, getting out of your house, a little bit of exercise, B vitamins. Sometimes people say a B complex. Sometimes ginger in small doses can help. There are a lot of things that can help, like, and you'll find them, I guess they would be called old wives' tales, although I like to say that old wives know a lot. Those are the things that you'll find, on the internet if you search, pregnancy nausea remedies or something. In general, the protein, you cannot really, it's very hard to recover from a serious a serious nausea issue in pregnancy without the protein fix. Like, you could be taking all the supplements, and without the protein carbohydrate every couple hours, you're going to still have problems. Okay, so you can start with a hard-boiled egg. Eggs are a really good source of protein because they're easily digestible. They're easy to get. They're not super expensive like would be, fish or meat. And they're easy to hide in things if you can't handle just like a scrambled egg or a fried egg. Fried food isn't so good. That's also one of the things I wanted to mention. Fried food can also really cause us to feel bad. If you're wondering if what you're eating is causing you nausea or what you're not eating, I recommend keeping a diet diary, which is just basically a record of what you're eating. That's really helpful in my practice. When I first start seeing a client, I request that she bring me a diet diary, which is basically everything she's eaten for 7 days, and then we look at it together. So if you're wondering if there's a correlation between how you're feeling and what you're eating, you might want to just keep a piece of paper on your refrigerator and jot down what you've eaten and when, and also to keep track of yourself. Like, if you know that you've eaten at 4, just look at your watch and know that by 6 o'clock you're going to have to eat something else. And a meal doesn't have to be a big sit down, big giant plate of anything. It could just be a small snack, as long as it contains protein and carbohydrates every couple hours. Okay, so I hope that helps you. I haven't covered everything, but those are the major things that I stress and emphasize to women when they come to me or call me. And the other thing I really have to tell you, and this is important because this is a really big concern for a lot of women, especially in a first pregnancy, is it going to hurt my baby? Is my vomiting hurting my baby? Is the lack of eating, because sometimes women just have a really hard time eating, is this going to hurt my baby? Basically, this is how it works. If you have any kind of storage in your body, if you've been well nourished, relatively well nourished up until the pregnancy, your baby will receive what it needs from you, and be left with you'll be left lacking if you don't provide yourself what you need. So in order to grow a baby, you need to be able to keep yourself healthy and all your own systems functioning, as well as your baby getting the nutrients, and your systems are also supporting the baby. So the baby will take from you, and then you'll be left with an imbalance. So it's really important to replenish your own stores, and that's how you're going to get through this with a healthy baby and feeling like you had a relatively good experience. And pregnancy isn't a dangerous sign. It's actually a good sign, showing you that you're well endowed with hormones, and those hormones just give us such a hard time with the blood sugar irregularities and all the spiking and crashing. And it'll regulate generally after 12 weeks, although sometimes it takes well into the second trimester. But don't despair, don't give up. Just keep eating and just keep swimming. So anyway, I hope this helped. And once again, I'm Chavah, and if you like what you see here, just let me know. And if you don't like what you see here, you can also let me know, although please be kind. And I hope to provide you with more informative, tips and help and support. And just anyone needs to contact me, you can feel free. You know how to do that through the page. Okay, bye.